Hello all. Right, this is one for Dolly. He asked me this question earlier on in the week, and I wish I'd put it on earlier on in the week, but I kind of been busy with stuff, and I've just done your one here and there. Yeah, this is going to be like an open one. I really want to hear everybody else's response to this, because I don't know, you know, like I say, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sort of the big nose, big ears, and big mouth. That's all it is. Right, the situation's this. He says, we've done some jobs of late off the CX. It's picking up from the same company. He said, but 3 different CX people have sent us into this company, going to 3 different places. Now, he said, now with this in mind, it strikes me that this one company is very price sensitive. They haven't got any loyalty to any individual shipper. So with that in mind, would it be okay for me to send in, not saying that it'd been in there before, or not saying that it'd been in there as another shipper, just to send them like an email or a spreadsheet, or, you know, like a flyer or something, outlining their services. Now, it's a tricky one, this one, the way I look at it, because obviously we all know poaching on the CX is an absolute no-no. You can't go in there and you can't put your business card down. You know, someone sends you in and you go, hello, I'm from me, and use me next time. That's nicking customers. That's bang out of order. That we know. But they're kind of grey areas. Like, for example, I've been doing leaflet drops before. And I'm doing leaflet drops, you know, bang, 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 bang. And I come up to a unit, I think, oh, hang on. I've picked up from here for someone else. I better not put the leaflet through the door. I'll go past that one. And then I go, hang on, I picked up from here someone else. I remember this place. I picked up here last year. Now, if it's, I mean, is there a statute of limitations? Obviously, if you put the card down straight away, or if you pop back a couple of weeks later. But a year ago, the guy you did the job for, I don't even know if he's still running. So with that in mind, how long are you supposed to leave it? And if you were doing a leaflet drop, anyway, if I paid kids to go around and do a leaflet drop all over an industrial estate, they don't know if we've been in here before. They could put a leaflet through a door, and then they give us a job, and then someone goes, hold on a second, we sent you in there recently. Obviously, we would never do it intentionally. You'd have to straighten that one out. So that's another one. And another, you know, sort of, yeah, it's kind of, where does it, like, what if you do a job for a shipper, do a job for someone on the exchange, and then they go bust? And maybe they don't even pay you. Now, I thought about this before. If you go back through your old invoices, if someone owes you money and they go down, you could go back through their old invoices and go, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to contact their customers and see if they need anyone. But then, having said that, if the guy went bust, what's to say that them customers didn't pay him? In which case, would you want to go back and work for the customers of somebody who went under? So that's another tricky one. The one thing I will say is this. It did happen to us. Yeah, so Dolly, and answer your question, it happened to us once, and we haven't got that many customers, you know, and we're fierce about defending them. And we did a job for one of our local guys, the engineering guys, when we first started. And basically they went, oh, I think that's a bit dear. It's down to Plymouth, and we didn't really want to, you don't want to send a van down to Plymouth, so that's a bit dear. And then Jen was watching the exchange, and about an hour later, a job pinged up, exactly the same job. And she went, oh, okay, so she's Googled it and she knows exactly where it's coming from. She knows it's the same job. You ain't going to get that many Leighton buses to Plymouth, a small van, like, you know. And she looked at the guy who was doing the job, and she looked at him and went, we sent him in last week. And she was spitting blood, as you would be. We're very defensive as our customers, I'm sure, rightly so. They're very difficult to get. You want to hang on to them. And so what we did is we spoke to CX and we went, look, this guy has obviously gone in there, put his card down, said, I can offer you a better rate, and they've given him a bash. And the CX turned around to us and said, okay, fair enough. Well, what you've got to do is you've got to prove that. You've got to go to your customer, you've got to find the card, you've got to say, when did he, and the kind of, and we went, we can't really do that. You know, I'm going to go to my customer and start asking him a million questions and say, we want you to sort of testify to us and all that kind of stuff. As it turned out, our customer rang us back about a week later and apologised and said, he actually didn't really need to apologise, but he said, I'm ever so sorry. I thought it was a bit dear. So we went with another firm, and oh my God. And Al said, job didn't go very well. And he said, you could say that. So where do we stand, guys? It's a big open question. Obviously, we all know dropping cards on the CX, it's poaching, is a no-no. You don't walk straight in there and put your card down. But how long is fair game? And is it fair game if they're not around anymore? And is it fair game if you're doing the whole estate? Thoughts, please. I think, if you want my opinion, you've got to use common sense on this one. And you know there's a little voice inside your head that knows the difference between when you're trying to nick someone's customer and when it just kind of happens. So, Dolly, I'll throw that one out to the public. we'll see what comes back, and I'll give you a shout on Sunday. In the meantime, guys, take care, take money.